What's going on, guys? MariK here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the different hero and villain characters that are playable in Star Wars Battlefront 2. Each faction is assigned a specific hero or a villain per map, and in order to play as these hero characters, a player has to earn 10 points before they're offered the hero class to be playable. Now, this is going to go to the first player who gets 10 points, but after they die, then it will be offered to another player. I don't remember if it's just offered to the next player who has gotten 10 points, who has the most points. But once that player loses the hero player, then you can eventually get your own chance at playing the hero. Or if you already played as the hero, you might get the chance to play as them again. Now, of course, Hero Assault is different because it's just heroes and villains. So everybody gets a chance to play as a hero as a villain, and it doesn't matter how many points you have. So first up for the heroes, we have Han Solo, that smuggler himself, and we're already discovering there's issues with the game, and I'm not sure why. So his primary weapon is his blaster pistol. It shoots in a burst fire, kind of like the award rifle and similar to Boba Fett's weapon, and it overheats. So there's no ammo count, which is kind of nice. You don't have to worry about ammo and such. His secondary weapon, he's got 5 det packs that, just like the det packs of the Engineer, you can place on objects, walls, whatever, and detonate with the left trigger. His other ability is Rally, which is the same ability that the clone commanders have. Stay over there. And when you use it, it gives everybody in the area the 50% defense boost. Now, the thing I just discovered, and I've checked my controls, they're fine. I've tested it on other hero characters, and it's fine. But so Han Solo's other primary is a fusion cutter, which allows you to repair vehicles, droids, turrets, and in this particular map, also the bookshelves in the library, in the Jedi archives. But you can hear me hitting the button, and it doesn't want to. Hey, Dooku, stop. It doesn't want to allow me to switch back to my gun, so in this particular fight, I'm pretty fucking helpless right now. Next up, we have Leia Organa. Her blaster pistol is almost like the exact opposite of Han's. While it still has infinite ammo and it does just overheat, her blaster is almost like a sniper rifle. It fires single shots that just do a shit ton more damage. She does not have a secondary weapon, though, so she doesn't have the fusion cutter, the broken cutter that Han Solo has. She does have 3 thermal detonators, though, which kind of makes her play like a... I don't want to say like a better infantry class, but... then she also has invulnerability. So when you activate this, you're pretty much... The way this ability is supposed to work is it's supposed to give the player and players that are around it when it's activated invulnerability. This is supposed to cause them to slowly heal their health every second while it's active, but also they're supposed to be invulnerable to damage at that time. Next we have Chewbacca. His primary weapon is the Wookiee bowcaster. It seems to fire just like it does for the Wookiee warrior. I guess Chewbacca himself, though, is just a little bit more tanky. And his secondary weapon is the guided rocket, which this should be similar to the guided rocket that the Demolition Award grants the heavy class players. I'm going to go ahead and test that, and we'll show you what this is like. So it lets you fire the rocket, and it lets you guide the rocket towards your targets. It is very fast, though, so it is hard to control, and you only get 4 of them, so it's going to take you a bit to... Django's pissed we took shots at him. So it'll take you a bit to get good at it, and also to effectively use it. I don't even know if I would bother with it. For Chewbacca's 2 secondary weapons, he's got 3 of these time bombs, just like, I believe the Wookiee has them too, right? Either the Wookiee or the both in Spy. 5 minutes, nope. 5 seconds before they detonate, and then like the Imperial Commander, he's got the Rage ability that he can pass on to his allies. Just like all the infantry, heroes also have the ability to do tactical rolls and evades. You can do them to both sides, you can do them forward. What makes the Jedi characters so much cooler, though, is the way they can jump. First of all, you can force jump up. You can keep jumping up until you used up all of your stamina bar. But every Jedi character gets their first jump without using any stamina. They can jump forward. They can do a backflip to evade. They can do side-to-side flip. And like I said, you can stack these flips until you have no more stamina left. Get out of here, bitch. Next up, we have Luke Skywalker. Unlike the heroes who have blasters, the lightsaber heroes don't have a second primary weapon. They just have their lightsaber. His lightsaber swings are dependent upon your movements. If you're standing still or just running forward normally, he has a forward slash, and if you continue all the way through, he's got that third slash that'll come in. And if you sprint with him, he has a... Oh, hello, Maul. Hold on. Get out. This is not for you. Asshole. When you sprint, and he does this kind of like left to right swing that it works all right in knocking down groups of enemies. I wouldn't say it's the best Jedi character, but it's not the worst. He does also have this downward kind of spiraling swing when you are up in the air with him. Force power wise, his primary force power is lightsaber throw. This is usually a one-hit kill on infantry, 2-hit kill at most, and it's usually a 2-hit kill on heroes and villains with full health. Next up, we have Obi-Wan Kenobi. His primary lightsaber attack is a little more subdued than Luke's, a little less flashy, and it's the same when you are running forward with it. Now, when sprinting, he has this... excuse me, Kiadi. We're recording a tutorial here. Thank you. Now, when you're sprinting with him, he has this really cool attack animation where he spins the lightsaber around in front of him. This will hit all enemies that are in front of you and the ones on both sides of you as he's swinging that lightsaber around, which is pretty cool. When you jump into the air with him, his attack in the air is actually pretty bad. It's just kind of like a forward slash from left to right that doesn't really give you a lot of room for hitting anything. Nowhere near as good as Luke's. And then, like Luke, his force powers include lightsaber throw and force push. One of my personal favorite heroes is Mace Windu with that badass purple lightsaber. His forward saber attack is a little bit more flashy, but with a bit of elegance as well. It has a pretty good range of motion to it. And his forward slash is kind of like, almost like an upward swing from bottom to top, from right to left. It's got a decent range of motion to it, but it's still not nearly as good as some of the others. What makes Mace's abilities really good is his downward attack, is he smashes his lightsaber straight into the ground and causes a shockwave. This will knock enemies down or knock them away from the center of the impact, which is pretty cool. And then he's, of course, got lightsaber throw like I think most of the lightsaber characters, and then standard force push. Up next, we've got the Grandmaster Yoda himself, and Yoda's a little bit of a different character to play. Aside from the fact that he's only like 2 feet tall, all of his basic attacking motions with the lightsaber are all aerial, so he does these little hops to be able to do it, which does make it kind of difficult when moving forward because it causes him to be a lot slower movement-wise as the other characters. He also looks funny as fuck when he's waddling backwards. When you're sprinting with him, his attack animation is actually pretty fucking good. He's got these slashes from side to side, and then he's also got that downward motion with that front flip. Gives him a lot more range with his dash attack, and also has just a better chance of hitting multiple targets. Yoda actually is, in fact, one of the only Jedi characters that does not have lightsaber throw as one of their force powers. He has force pull, where he'll pull the enemies towards him, knocking them to the ground. And then he has force push to push them away from him. And then fucking Count Dooku, his disobedient apprentice, coming in here to fuck shit up. Waddle, waddle, waddle. Then for his aerial attack, Yoda's got kind of like this slash forward that He slashes across from right to left, but also slashes it downward. So it's got a bit of a downward spike to it, but it's still just not that great compared to some of the other Jedi characters. Up next, we've got Ki-Adi-Mundi. He was actually one of my favorite characters when Phantom Menace came out. And I don't really remember why I liked him growing up, but he kind of just turned into a nothing throughout the entirety of the prequel series, and then also he was just kind of somewhat of a dick in the animated show, although he had a couple funny moments where he was trying to compete with Anakin, like he was trying to be one of the hip cool kids like Steve Buscemi. Anyway, his basic attacks are actually not that bad. He's got a slash down, another slash across, and then that spinning slash. Does decently well. It hits plenty of targets. What's really unique about Ki-Adi-Mundi is his dash attack. He does this forward slashing motion followed up by like an uppercut swing like Mace Windu does. However, his attack, what makes it so unique is that it's based on your input as the player. So you can dash forward and you can hit once and he'll just do that one slash. But if you sit there and just mash your attack button, he will do about 7 fucking flips followed by that uppercut, which works really well for just groups of enemies to just plow through and also just kill, you know, enemy villain characters. Granted, you can also do that with his standard saber throw attack, but it's not as flashy as, you know, a bald dude with a tall ass head fucking flipping over 5, 6, 7 times just to kill your ass. And then he's also got force pull, which in a way I guess force pull is kind of better because he's pulling towards you and then you attack. But I personally think I'm a little bit bigger of a fan of force push. His aerial attack, however, is a little bit kind of like Obi-Wan's, kind of useless. It's just this forward slash that it just, I don't know. It's got a decent range of motion like directly in front of you, but honestly it just feels pretty bad and I wouldn't even bother using it. Up next we have Jedi Knight Aayla Sakira, and this is pretty much the only time in, I believe, any Star Wars media that she actually has 2 lightsabers. Normally I think she only has 1 blue in everything else, movies, the animated series. Her attacks are kind of interesting because of her specific saber style. Now, she attacks kind of like that, like swinging outward both times, which it just doesn't seem that great. And she does it kind of almost like a Yoda hop when you're attacking, moving forward. Her sprint attack is a little bit different. It's kind of like she spins and twirls the lightsabers around her, but it doesn't seem to get as much forward motion as some of the other characters get. Then for her aerial attack, she does a somersault in the air and spins both lightsabers down on her target. For our final hero... What the fuck? Anakin, behave yourself. For our final hero character, we have Kit Fisto, and he was the hero that we got with the DLC on Xbox Live. His attacks are kind of like, they don't seem to have a good range of motion. That third attack has a nice little dash, but it feels like I can't even get him to do it again. It's like a really annoying, like, swing. He just kind of does it when he wants to, and it's fucking aggravating. His sprint attack is not really much better. It's kind of like, it's like an uppercut, but he also, like, follows the target in the air. To which I don't really think that's that helpful. I haven't played with him a whole lot because, well, I played the shit out of Battlefront 2 before I really had access to the DLC, and so I don't have the most experience with him. He does have lightsaber throw, like most of the standard characters, but then he also has this force orb ability that's kind of like he sends almost like a little water spirit bomb at your enemies, and I don't remember how many hits it takes to actually kill them. I guess we should find out since we tested the lightsaber throw kill. Anakin, come here. So it appears to be a 2-hit KO. I don't know who actually finished that kill for us. And then lastly, we have his downward attack, which this one's actually pretty solid. He does this really cool flip in the air and then slams his lightsaber down, kind of like Mace Windu does. So that's going to be it for our tutorial video on the various hero. And obviously Han and Leia don't have to worry about running out of ammo. Their weapons are just, I don't know. On the one hand, overheating is, you can kind of manage it, but also you can't continuously fire like you can with Chewbacca. With the Jedi, my personal favorites, I like Luke's attack animations. Obi-Wan's is pretty solid. And Ki-Adi-Muണ്ടി's dash animation, his forward dashing attack, is really good when you can chain it together. But Mace Windu would definitely be my personal favorite. The way his forward slash attacks are, and then definitely his downward attack is really good. It all comes down to personal preference, and it'll be whichever one you manage to pick up the best. But when it comes to the Jedi and Sith characters, the easiest strategy is to just spam lightsaber throw. Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection comes out in just 2 weeks, so we hope to see you on the Battlefront.